Alright guys, welcome. We are back and we're discussing the traxler, everybody, on the Two Knights Defence by Jan Pinsky. Fantastic book. So part 2 to continue where we left off. So we're looking at e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, knight f6, knight g5, bishop c5, and then take, and then bishop takes, and then we're taking on, and then knight takes e4 check, and then we're going king e3, aren't we? Oh yes. But in this book, in the Weir Smith game, we're going king g1, everybody, and then I think that's move 6. So we religiously went through the different lines from move 7, from queen e7, everybody, through to queen h4. There was various lines there. So queen e7, we had c3 d5 line, we had queen e7, knight takes h8 line. We went through some moves there. Look guys, I'm no fluent author on chess. I'm not saying I'm the best, okay? I'm going through this as much as anyone else needs to go through. I don't go through my books enough. I've got like 50 books on chess. It's like, well, yeah, and my downloads that I've done all my chess videos, and I don't spend enough time going through the games. People have told me 2015, that's 14 years ago, Ian, go through Grandmaster games, and I haven't done it enough. I don't do it enough, and this is the time to do it. So excuse me if I'm getting stuff wrong or I'm not as fast as anyone else who goes through the books and the lines and goes 100 miles an hour. That's not what it's about. That's not what I'm about. You do what you got to do. I'll do it the way I got to do it. And you know, there's no love lost if we have our different ways of going through stuff. So I'm learning just as much as you, and I hope that'll bring some positivity to your chess. So helping each other out. It's the 7th of August 2025. It's 9:30, and queen h4 was a line. We then looked at the book. So where did we get up to? g4, bishop e6, knight c3, 6, knight c3. We got up to move 14 with rook h4, rook takes h4, g takes f4, bishop e6, knight c3, and then there was up to move 19 where queen g4, queen f1 with the draw. So the lines that we looked at were either an advantage for white, or good counterplay for black, or a straight draw. So there was a couple of lines where I think I said there was one. Ben Feingold on his website was saying that it was a straight draw, and that's what happened. So let's just go with the actual game. So queen h4, which I finished off with the last part of the video, so we're going to continue from there. g3, so not queen f1 here, because rook f8, d3, knight to d6, knight takes d6 check, c takes d6, and then queen e2. And what happens here is knight to d4, as suggested by Stockfish, and the book queen d2, queen g4, bishop d5, and knight e2 wins. That's forced, and then that's forced, and then it's mating h3, and then it's like minus 7.2. I was about to say mating 1, but it's not. but it's not far off. So that's why we don't play king f1 here. So that's probably as opposed to the knight takes h8 in 2 moves time, to eliminate that possibility of what's just happened there. So let's go back to g3, and then knight takes g3, knight takes h8. The only move, since otherwise black rook will live. So let's have a look at this. We went through this. H takes, queen takes g3 check, king to f1, rook to f8, queen to h5, d5. Good move, gives black an overwhelming attack. So for example, if move 12, bishop takes d5, knight to b4, we went through this, didn't we? Bishop c4, b5, bishop b3, or 14, bishop takes b5 check, c6, bishop c4, knight to d5, bishop takes d5, c takes d5, and black wins with rook g1. Okay, what happens now? Bishop down here, check. Oh yes, and the check here, and then hold on. Oh yeah, queen takes h5, and then pretty much good night Vienna, isn't it? So back to move 14, bishop b3. So we've gone through the brackets line. So knight takes c2, d4, bishop b7, eyeing down this rook, queen takes e5 check, queen takes e5, d takes e, knight takes a1, rook takes h7, sorry, knight takes b3. Black won the game in Shatanov Garin, correspondence 1973. So that was not if we take the knight, queen h4, g3, knight takes g3, so knight takes h8 here, and then d5. Oh okay, so let me just go back to the b. A was h takes d3, so instead of knight takes a8 we have d4. d4 is strongly met with knight e4. Okay, and then 10, bishop e3 to stop the mate here in 1. Okay, e takes d4, and then knight takes h8, and then d takes e3. And the pawn has similar properties to those of a minor piece. It is dangerously active and wickedly close to the white king. Fedyanov Tokarev, correspondence 1977 to 1978, continued after bishop f7 check, after queen f3. Instead of that you've got knight e5, with bishop f7 check, and then king f8. Black has the following force line at his disposal: queen takes e3, queen to g4, check, king f1, queen d1, check, queen g2, queen takes c2, check, king g1, queen to d1, check, king to g2, queen to g4 check, king to f1, knight takes f7, king takes f7, and black's winning. So let's go back to move 12. So let's go back to knight takes h8. So knight takes g3. So d4 instead of knight takes a8 or h takes g3. d4 strongly met with knight e4, and then bishop e3, e takes d4, knight takes h8, and then d takes e3. Continue, play continue, bishop f7, check. Can find the brackets. That was this line that we've just been through. Close brackets. So king goes to d8, queen f3, knight to d4, attacking the queen, queen takes e3, knight takes c2, queen f3, queen to e1, check, queen to f1, king e3 check, king to g2, d5, queen f3, bishop h3, 1-0 to black, mate in 2. So yeah, that was Fedjanov and Tokarev, correspondence 1977 to 1978. So go back to knight takes h8, and then d5. This looks natural, but actually it loses because white has some extra options of queen f3 and or queen e1. Also after knight e4, so if we play knight e4 now, queen f3, what? No. Oh sorry, so knight e4. This looks natural, but it actually loses because white has the extra options of 10 queen f3 and 10 queen e1. Also after knight e4. Oh, I see, queen e1. So knight takes h8, d5. Oh yeah, sorry, I went to the wrong square. Knight e4, yeah, I went to d4 there. So right, you can see what I mean. So queen f3, white wins here. So if knight goes to e4 in this position, we've got queen f3, and that's winning. Instead, black should play knight d4. When again we have a wide range of possibilities. So knight to d4 here, and the A line, A is d3, knight g to e2, king to f1, d6, and black wins. Okay, we're back. So after, oops, get rid of that. After knight to d4 went d3, knight g to e2, and then king f1, and then d6, and then black wins. So so that was part A. So instead of d3, it's saying move 10, bishop f7 check, king to e7, h takes g3, queen takes g3 check, king f1, and then d6 is a fantastic move because it's releasing this bishop. Okay, or even this here, because then it's all kinds of trouble, isn't it? And then check, and then knight. Yeah, so in brackets, so instead of d6, it's got queen f4 check, king to g2, queen g5 is only a draw, because then king f1, queen f4, king g2, and so on and so on. So let's go back to, where's the bishop move? So bishop f7 check, so knight d4, and then instead we play bishop takes f7, bishop f7 check, king to e7, h takes g3, queen takes g3 check, king to f1, d6, great move, and then we've done the brackets, and then it's bishop h5. Okay, what's queen h5? So it says bishop back to h5, and then if knight c3 though, bishop g4, great move, exclamation mark, and then queen e1, bishop h3 check, and then, or you got bishop e6, for move 13, sorry, so you got queen e1, bishop h3 for move 14, or instead if we play, what's it saying, if we play bishop h5, it's saying bishop e6, right, d3, and then rook f8 wins. Sorry, rook f8 wins. So let's go to part C. So back to move 10 after, instead of queen to f7 check. So let's have a look at that. Let's take that back. So instead of bishop to f7 check, we're going to go king g2 now. Knight takes h1, king takes h1, queen e4 check, king to g1, knight f3 check, king to f2, queen to h4 check, king to e2, but in brackets you've got king to e3, and then you've got d5, close bracket, and then you've got instead after king to e2, so king to e2, you've got knight d4 check, king f1, d6, and black wins. What's it saying here? That, I see, yeah, check, and then yeah, you're going to come here, they're going to take knight here, bishop. Yeah, it's good knight beginner, isn't it, as Andrew Martin would say. So part D, so back to knight d4. Excuse me, sorry, how many listeners we got in at the moment? We haven't got anyone, but it's okay, it's just a recording for my YouTube video. So we've done part A, d3, we've done part B, bishop f7 check, we've done part C, king to g2, and then part D is c3, d5. If this doesn't work, black also has knight e4 instead. Okay, knight e4, queen h5 check, queen takes, bishop to f7, queen takes f7, knight takes f7, knight to f3 check, king to g2, knight to h4 check, king to h3, knight to g6, knight takes e5, knight takes e5, d4, d5 check, king to g2, knight to d3, with good compensation for the exchange, so 0.5 on the stop bish. Okay, let's go back to move 11. So instead of queen h5 check, we're going to do c takes d4. So let's go back to that. So it's queen h5. It's saying here c takes d4, bishop g4, okay, part D. Oh right, okay, let me just look at that. So where are we again? Nine, knight d4. Part D is c3, d5. In brackets, if this doesn't work, black also has the moves that we've just gone through. Look for the closed bracket, could compensate for the exchange. So then it's c takes d4, bishop g4, queen a4 check, c6, bishop takes d5, knight to e2 check, king f1, queen f6 check, king to g2, knight to f4, king to g3, and then knight takes d5. And then black is obviously okay here. So put big capital OK here. For example, so after knight, if queen goes b3 now, queen f4 check, king to g2, queen to e4 check, king to g3, queen takes h1, king takes g4, queen g2 check, queen to g3, queen e4 check, king h3, knight to f4 check, king to h4, and queen e2 wins. Any problem should occur earlier. So part E then, so let's go back to part 9. So knight d4, c So it's saying part E, H takes G3, best. Queen takes G3, check. King F1, Queen F4, King G2, Queen G5 with a draw by perpetual check. So let's go back to H takes G3. Downside to knight D5, as I said instead. Okay, so let's go back to part 9. So knight D4. So instead of knight D4, the downside to D5 is queen goes to E1, queen D4 check, and queen E transposes to the game, queen E3 transposes to the game. So part A is queen E1, queen D4 check, queen E3 transposes to the game. So part B is instead of queen E1, you've got H takes G3, queen takes G3, king F1, bishop H3 check. Is it rook takes bishop now? Yeah. Queen takes rook check, and then king G1, queen G3 check with a draw in Mutafov Spaduntzhiev, Sapunzhiev, if I've said that right. Apologies if I haven't. So that was Mutafov Sapunzhiev, correspondence 1967. So part C, so we've done part A, part B. Let's go back to knight D5. Let's go back to that. So knight D5, bishop takes D5, bishop H3, bishop takes H3. Let's go back to that. Queen F3, queen D4, queen E3, queen takes D5, queen takes G3, and then queen to D4, queen E3, and now black need not take the perpetual after queen G4 check, but can play for more with, instead of queen G4, they can go castle long. There are no sensible alternatives. No sensible alternatives, since if queen takes D4, knight takes D4, knight to A3, mating 3, and then there's that one, or we've got this one as well. It's always better to do with a lower valued piece, isn't it? So that was part C. So there are no sensible alternatives. So move 10. Let's go back to bishop. Instead of bishop D5, hang on. Instead of bishop, bishop takes d5. So it's saying, okay, if we did bishop takes d5 here, it's then saying there are no sensible alternatives. Knight to f5, right? Oh, well done. Okay, so let's go to d5. Yeah, so basically it's saying if d5, then if we play queen f3 from move 10, it says there are no sensible alternatives. Then if knight goes to f5, really? That's what it says here anyway. So I'm not sure if the previous one, it's got dot 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 knight f5, so that means that was black's last move on move 10. So whether it was going from white's 10th move, bishop queen f3, or queen d4, sorry, not queen d4, whether it's going from queen f3 or bishop d5 takes d5, but we're going to go queen f3. Then it went knight f5, bishop takes d5, so it has to be queen f3 line. Knight c to d4, attacking the queen, queen to e4, attacking the queen, queen g5 check, and instead of queen e4, it's saying if queen e4 and then knight takes c2, then bishop f7 check, king d8, queen takes h4 check, knight takes h4, d4, knight to f5, bishop g5 check, king to d7, d takes e5, knight takes a1, king to f2, and white is winning. So let's just go back to not knight takes c2, but queen e4, queen g5 check, and then carry on. queen. So that was the brackets. Then close the brackets. Then queen g2, queen h4, h3, knight c takes c2 is unclear according to the Russian master Lepeshkin. That's got to be right, isn't it? Lepeshkin. Is it unclear? But after 15, knight c3. Hang on. So unclear. Knight c2 is unclear. So it's saying h3. h3. Knight takes c2. Knight c3. Exclamation mark. Knight takes a1. Right. Knight to b5. Rook to b8. Knight takes c7 check. King to f8. b3. It seems that white has the winning game. Okay, so we'll go back to queen f3 after knight takes h8 line. Back to knight takes h8, and then we're going to go and run. Not the knight d4 line. Going to knight takes g3 line. Knight takes g3, we're going knight h8. Then we're going to go, where are we? Knight takes h8. Bold is the game. All the little soft italics is the different lines. So we had queen f3. Queen can't come to f3, so that was a different line. Now king f3. King, knight to e4 check. King f3. No, that's because we went to g1. There we go. King to g1. Then we went not queen h4, g3, knight takes h8. Oh yeah, missed off the move, d5. Then we had queen f3. There we go. See what I mean about taking your time and step by step. Queen d4 check. Queen to e3. Knight takes h1. Bishop b5. Queen g4. King takes h1. d4. So let me go back to queen to e3 and then knight takes h1. Bishop b5 question mark. White lets the win slip away with this move. Correct was queen takes d4. Okay, queen takes d4, but it drops to 0.8. So it's 1.5 at the moment, but time and time again I keep hearing from grandmasters, top players, that's the engine. I'm not playing the engine, I'm playing the person. So keep that in mind, keep that rule of thumb in mind. You're playing the person, you're not playing stockfish. So this is how it's concepted from the author and the players. So the correct move here was queen takes d4. But as I say, it dropped to 0.8. For those who like the engine and go through that, you know, I'm not bothered. You like the engine, what it says, you like what the players say, put them together. We've got chess chat GBT now, haven't we? AI, so let them sort it out. Correct was queen takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop b3, and then bishop h3, knight a3, exclamation mark, the zoo, knight takes b3, a takes b3, king to d7, releasing the rook for the knight, d3, rook takes h8, king takes h1, rook to f8, bishop to e3, a5, storming, king to g1, b6, rook to e1, c5, bishop f2, rook to e8, and then bishop g3, and black has no real compensation for the piece. 2, 4, 6, 7 pawns, 3, 4, 5 pawns, a bishop each, a rook each. They've got the knight, and yeah. But as soon as that rook's on f8, you know, as soon as that rook's there, the king's pretty much limited, isn't it? King can come up here, knight's here though. I've got this to push up, this to push up, this bishop's free on this diagonal. Yeah, so let's go back to move 12. So we did that. Let's go back to move 13. So instead of bishop h3, it's saying part B, bishop e6, and then if king takes h1, king to d7 to release the rook, and then it's got in brackets, if black castled here, d3, rook takes h8, bishop rook takes h8, and then bishop e3. Bishop can't go to e3. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, okay, so we take black castles now. Yeah. Oh, d3. So I played c3. See what I mean? Looking at the board, you just miss the c file to the d file. Apologies for that. So with d3, sorry, let me find where am I? Rook takes h8, and then bishop e3, and white wins. Okay, so let's go back to 15. King d7, bishop e6, king d7 here. King d7, where are I? d3, rook takes h8, bishop e3, and white wins. So king d7, it's d3, not knight. King d7, knight. How can the knight? Oh yeah, knight g6. So if d3, oh, so it's saying not knight g6 because h takes g6, d3, a5, c3, knight takes b3, A takes b3, bishop f5, d4, e takes d4, c takes d4, rook e8, knight c3, rook e1 check, king g2, king to c6, and black has a lot of counterplay as there is no easy way for white to get his queenside pieces into play. Yes, because the rook's pinning the rook on with the bishop, the knight has got to manoeuvre twice. The rook, I suppose, can take here, but then we lose the bishop. So yeah, we've got h4, it's 0.2. So yeah, everything's open for black. It's a bit tied up in the bottom left hand corner here with two minor pieces, a major piece. So yeah, there's a bit of work for h4. I mean, line play can go like this, b6, and then what? Attack here, take. Okay, there's this knight here protecting the bishop. You get the pawn. We get here, check this. Oh, okay then. So yeah, that makes it a draw or even position. So so that was. Let's go back to move 15 then. So move 15 was d3. Let's go back to d3 in the book. And it's this line here, d3. Rook takes h8 instead of the knight to g6. Bishop e3. Knight takes b3. A takes b3. Rook f8. 18, king to g2, bishop to f2, sorry, king to g2, d4, bishop to f2, bishop d5 check, king g1, a6, knight to d2, and white has an endgame. He should win in a very high percentage of cases. So with all that said and done, we go back to bishop b5. After what? Knight takes h1. Let me just have a look. Knight takes h1, move 11. Knight takes h1, where are we? Knight takes h1. I just had it a minute ago. Hang on, bishop b5. No. Knight takes. Move 11. Okay, let me find the line. Queen e3. Knight takes h1. Check. It's not that line. Knight e4. C takes d4. Then we have knight takes h8. Just go back. Then it was d5. And then we had queen f3. Then we had queen d4 check. Then we had queen e3. Knight takes h1. There we go. Where was that? Oh, it was move 12. bishop b, it was up there, there we go, bishop b5, and then queen g4, knight takes h1, and then d4. But 13, instead of d4, you've got bishop f5 is also possible, and then because of bishop f5 we have part A and part B. So part A is 14 d3, king f8, and then instead of king f8, if we castle long, we've got bishop takes c6, b takes c6, knight c3, rook f8, queen g3, and then queen h5, bishop d2, and black does not have enough for material investment, so he's knight down, 3 for 5, 6, 7, 3 for 5, 2 pawns down and a knight down. So yeah, let's go back to queen g4, after d3, so queen g4, that was part A. So instead of d4, you've got bishop f5, and then we've done part A. Part B is, and black does not have enough for the material investment, so let's go up to move 15 then. After bishop f5, bishop f5, then we go d3, then we go king f8, and then we go knight d2, queen d1 check, king g2, queen takes c2, queen f3, so we've got this attacked twice. Knight can come back and protect both. Okay, so queen e7, sorry, queen f3, knight back to e7, queen h5, with an unclear game according to Dazoo. So let's go back to 14 again, and instead of d3, we play knight to c3, d4, queen takes e5 check, queen to f8, queen takes c7, king g8, queen g3 exclamation mark, queen takes g3, h takes g3, d takes c3, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, d3, rook e8, b takes c3, king takes h8, and rook b1, and the position looks like a dead draw. So yeah, fantastic. In the realms of the traxler gambits, we go to move 14, so we'll go back to d4 on move 13, which is that bad boy, and then queen e2. Yeah, white cannot prove an advantage anymore, so if queen e5 check, king f8 exclamation mark, queen takes c7, and then in brackets, if bishop takes c6, b takes c6, queen c5 check is a bad idea, because king g8, queen takes c6, bishop b7, ow, queen takes b7, and then you've got rook to e8 and black wins. Okay, queen comes back, takes this, and then this, and then this. Oh yeah, it's mate and 7 then. So yeah, so we go back to queen takes c7, because then that was the bracket. So queen takes c7, close bracket, bishop e6, bishop takes c6, c takes c6, b takes c6, queen takes c6, queen d1 check, king to g2, king to g2, queen to e2 check, king to g1, queen to e1 check, king to g2, queen to e2 are with the draw. So go back to queen e2 after d4. So d4, queen to e2, and then queen f4, king to g1, bishop e6, queen h5 check, king to d7, move 17, knight to g6, h takes g6, queen takes g6, queen f3. Okay, knight to a3, question mark, question mark. Why is not completely up to date on the situation after queen g2, queen d1 check, queen f1, queen g4, queen g2. The game would have ended in a fair draw. So okay, yeah, so basically it would have ended a draw. So let's go back to knight a3, bishop d5, great move. Now black is winning. The white king is currently over while the black king simply dances away. Queen g7 check, king to d6, knight to c4 check, hold on, drag the puzzle across. Okay, sorted. So I think that's why I was getting suspended for a day, because you know when it came up to do the live feed, the puzzle, send it across, I wasn't doing it, so it was suspending me. That's happened twice now. But anyway, so king dances away, so we've got knight to c4 check, king to c5, bishop takes c6, rook to g8, queen takes g8, queen to h1 check, king to f2, queen takes h2 check, king f1, bishop takes g8, knight takes e5, b takes c6, queen f3. What? Also queen h3 check. Sorry, knight f3, queen h3 check, king f2, bishop d5, knight to e1, queen h2 check, king f1, king d6, 1-0. Oh, so it was mate in 10 after bishop to e6. So guys, that was email game 1994, Weir and Smiths, and there's a few interesting thorough lines that we've gone through. Apologies if I've not been fluent. As I said, I'm picking it up because I don't do it enough times. You've got to go through your games. You've got to go through your games, go through some grandmaster games, and go through your games, go through your losses. So I know I've just dictated and then just gone through, anyone can do it. It just helps. So when you've got a game now, we've looked at those lines, keep it fresh in your mind, go over the game, go over the game, go over the game, keep it fresh in mind. There'll be patterns of that position in other games, so it just gives you an idea like how to position the bishop, the knight, the queen, your pawn structure, where the king is, where the queens are, etc. So it may not be the same openings, but at least you've got some idea and new fresh ideas, because you think to yourself, well, to place the bishop there, that can work as well. It's just because you know how it's like, it opens another door to another door, and it's like, well, that was in similar position in the last game, it's gonna help me get some ideas. So I hope that was Weir Smith. So we'll go through the next game after the next video. So this is part 2, everybody. There's the love. Rooks and hooks. Calm on down.